Hey, Mrparka here to review a new one from Alamo Drafthouse. This is The Invitation. This actually came out in July, and I just got a chance to check it out. It's been released on it comes with DVD, Blu-ray, and a digital copy. This is by Karyn Kusama, who did Jennifer's Body and Girlfight and Aeon Flux. Actually, I'm not really familiar with her work, but after this, I think I'm going to go check out Jennifer's Body because The Invitation was probably my favorite movie of the year so far. I haven't probably been keeping up as much as I should, but I was blown away by this movie. I watched it, once. Then I went back and watched it with the commentary, and then I went back and watched it again. The Invitation follows the story of Will, who recently lost his son. Well, not recently, a couple years ago. I imagine it always feels recent. And he's invited to go to a dinner party with his ex-wife and a bunch of their longtime friends. They haven't seen each other in a couple years. When him and his new girlfriend get there, he notices that his ex-wife, Eden, and her boyfriend, David, are acting very strange. They appear to be in some sort of cult group, and that's pretty much where I'll leave it. Will's paranoia starts to get the best of him. He seems on edge. He seems angry. And this is when, as an audience member from Will's point of view, you start to wonder, what is going on? Is it Will? Is it something in Will's head? Is there something going on with actual David and Eden? You're not necessarily sure. But what makes The Invitation so good is the way it's actually made. Every shot is thought out. Every framing device is used very well and thought out. Like I said, the director and the writers were very cerebral. They thought everything out. And I'm going to be honest, I see a lot of films where I don't think everything's thought out anymore. I think that this actually feels like an older film, like a 70s film almost, like with their attitude as well. It has like a nihilism. It seems pretty downbeat for the most part. And the acting in the film, along with the characters, like I said, the filming and the framing and all the hints and the motifs and stuff like that really helped this along. It just makes it a creepy, dread-inducing film. I will say, like I said, the acting and the characters really spoke to me. The film's message, the film's values, things like that, denial over something of a loss, kind of pushing it down to dull the pain, grief. This movie actually spoke to me on many levels. I felt touched in it. The great thing about this movie is all the characters I cared about and I was intrigued by and interested in. Although I'm not like all the characters, of course, a good film will suck you in and you'll be interested in all the characters. So many movies, it's not that I can't relate to these characters, it's that I don't want to watch them. I don't care. It's just... And that's bad. I cared about every single character in this movie. And the relationship between the characters and their main character, you feel love, you feel emotion, and you feel history. Everyone gets their moments, and the film, some people consider, could be guilty of repetitiveness. The main character walks away from the invitation, which is they're having a party. He walks away from the party many times and kind of brooding and thinking and being paranoid, but it never feels like that to me. It never gets to the repetitive point. It's just building tension, and finally there is a payoff. And when the payoff happens, I actually caught myself being very shocked, very depressed, and sucked into the I was very invested, which is probably the best thing you can say about a movie. There's lots of things in here that hint. In the beginning of the film, a coyote is hit, and later on that kind of plays into factor. It's kind of a mercy killing, and sometimes people filled with grief and so down could be considered a mercy killing. I don't want to reach, like, I don't want to spoil anything. The less I say, the better. But the filming techniques of this movie are just absolutely amazing. Like I said, there's lots of good framing and lots of good camera where it creeps in. There's pan overs where people are watching that you're surprised by. All sorts of things like that. The film actually comes with a 10-minute making of where it has all the actors and the filmmakers and writers talking about the film. It is short, but it's straight to the point. I've seen a lot of making ofs where they kind of press on, and it's unneeded information. This is definitely needed stuff, and it's intriguing as well. There's also a audio commentary which I listened to, which was actually very in depth with the two writers and the director. And I actually am familiar with this director, not from her films, like I said previously, but actually from her visit on the podcast Shockwaves and her visit on the podcast by Bret Easton Ellison, where she goes into depth about the film a little bit. And I thought it was very interesting. She had a lot of interesting things to say, and seeing that made me appreciate the movie even more, although I enjoyed it and saw a lot of things that I was shocked were in the movie. Lots of, like I said, unique camera tricks, and it's a very patient movie, so when it actually does kind of implode on itself, it's worth every second of it. Like I said, invested in all the characters, great acting. I actually had to go look up some of these actors and actresses to memorize what they were from. And you got to give the movie points for casting different types of characters in an unironic way, a non-jokey way, not, oh, we got gay characters. There's a gay couple in the film. There's an interracial couple in the film. There's just a wide variety of different types of characters, and lots that would normally be stereotyped that aren't, which I appreciate. But yeah, I would really check out The Invitation. It has its real grueling moments. Some people had said that it's not necessarily the most original thing ever, but as the director had stated, I think it's expertly made and meticulously thought out. And the director stated she's here to tell stories, and she tells so much in that about not just stories, about religion and grief and denial and the human condition. I'd really recommend this one, guys. It's probably my favorite movie of the year. It is The Invitation. Have a good one.
How this thing is so official.
Maybe they're overcompensating. It's kind of hard to call everybody up out of the blue after 2 years.
I'm so glad you're here. We've got a lot to talk about. So much to celebrate tonight. Each and every one of us is on a journey, and we feel that it's important to be on that journey with the people you love. Everybody, this is my friend Pruitt.
Bars on the windows and the...
Security. Safer.
You've been acting so suspicious of our hospitality.
Well,
Jesus.
has he been like this a lot? So agitated? How has he been handling things? He can be self-destructive.
I think he's doing the best he can.
Something doesn't feel safe here.
We don't see you for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, we get invited to this lavish dinner. Don't tell me that this is normal.
What do you think is happening, Will?
This beautiful moment is upon us. Tonight is the night our faith is made real.